It's that time of year again where I stray from my normal videos and make a personal one. Then again, what classifies as normal here? Either way, it's different. I'm going to express my feelings on this year in one short video. I say short because I didn't film too much stuff. Plus, we're picking up where we left off. Nothing new about high school here. So, with that said, here's my year in review, Sophomore. Dude, this year sucked. Not in the sense that a bunch of bad things happened, more of just like, nothing happened. I only got to see friends as much as the exact definition of occasionally. Mainly because at the time, I was living 45 minutes from my school and an hour from my friends. But I'm not going to get into that. I realized all my classes last year were pretty mediocre. Not too bad, not too good either. But this year, it was different. I traded in mediocre for really fun ones like theater and fundamentals of television. But I also got some worse ones to balance it out. So let's list them off. My very first hour was 0B, which if you don't know, that's basically a class period before the normal start time, so you can get out early. Also, I had it on B days, so that's why there's a B. This class was biology pre-AP, and boy, let me tell you, I hated it. The first day I was immediately thrown off when our teacher was running a bit late, so we were all clumped in the front of the door waiting for her when I realized these are all freshmen. Which wasn't completely true. There were about 6 sophomores in the class, but I couldn't tell because of my blind feeling of superiority. Later in the year, I found a group of freshmen who were mature enough to actually carry on a conversation, but I seriously considered changing that class. And I didn't necessarily have a reason to hate them, except for some of them look like kids in an Old Navy commercial. One time they were talking about their GPAs and what colleges they wanted to go to, and I was just sitting there thinking about colleges as a freshman? Back in my day, we just waited and freaked out about colleges when we were seniors. Why can't you just be normal, nerd? Also, the fact that I hated doing work and learning at 7:15 in the morning didn't help my opinion of the class, so yeah. Teacher was fine, though. My next period was theater, and boy, let me tell you, I loved it. I was always looking forward to A-days because of theater. I always had so much energy when I walked in. I learned a lot about myself and how to talk to others in that class. I loved performing pieces and learning how good I did and how to improve. Plus, I got to stretch my pipes for some musical theater and also my improv skills, which I was a natural at, but who's surprised? We only have around a month left as of writing this, but I know I'm still going to learn a lot from that class. Actually, I'm recording this after school ended, and all we did kind of was just make a devised piece, so I didn't learn that much, but it was fun. Second period was world history, and it was exactly what I always wanted in a history class. I'm also happy when I go to that class, but I think it was overshadowed by biology, which happened right before it. There were great people, and the teacher was always engaging. I didn't do too good on the quizzes, but what I did learn, I'll probably remember for a long time. Third period was fundamentals of television, and was another reason I loved waking up in the morning. I just made videos, some of which you've seen, with Will, and goofed off. I got an easy A from that class. Not because it was easy, but because I think you can tell my caliber of video making skills at this point. I was basically an involuntary teacher's pet, whereas I think the teacher hated Will. Maybe not hated, but I do have proof that he was certainly worn out by Will. When Will made the how to make a BizGet video, you could tell that he disliked it and how much everyone else was liking it.
I lost everything in the fire. My home, my dog, my family, my virginity.
He went through the routine of asking what was good and what was not good. Then Will decided to ask, "How did you like it, Mr. Duncan?" Already knowing the answer. He started saying, "Well, I didn't like," which is when the class started arguing with him, and he went, "Hey, I'm sick and tired of," and I can't remember the rest, but basically, he didn't like that the class was always defending Will, and that he always tried to make it funny. I'm taking the intermediate class next year because it's going to be super fun. Fourth period was different this year. It was no longer the awesome sit, sleep, do homework, and think type period anymore. No, that's why now they call it fourth flex. The name is, I guess, kind of a portmanteau in that it's combining fourth period with, I don't know, flexing your brain? It's really stupid. Plus, you have to go to 4 a week. 2 45-minute periods every Tuesday and Thursday. And Friday, we have to schedule them. Part of the reason they did that was because they want less people to skip. But adding more periods doesn't keep those people from skipping. And also, they didn't just want us to slack off and not do our homework in seminar. If anything, that just made us more unproductive because I always just scheduled to watch Lord of the Rings. I'm serious. We watched all 3 Lord of the Rings movies, director's cut, through the course of the whole year by scheduling it every 4.3. And we still had time left over and we watched like 2 more movies. Plus, I didn't have as much time because of a 5-minute period in which I'd have to go to the next study hall. So this year, seminar wasn't as enlightening as last year. The next period was geometry, and this was the only class that changed in the middle of the year. See, I had geometry the whole year, but my first teacher was a baseball coach, so during the second semester, my whole class went to another teacher. My first teacher was awesome. He didn't take a lot of time explaining, yet somehow I knew the subjects, and I figured out why. He would take the time to go over it with us and correct it slowly. I would establish something and build it over time. My second teacher didn't do so hot though. He would go through it slowly at the beginning and expect us to get better at it over time. It's not really the case with me. Plus, my first teacher only gave homework to practice for the quiz for the next class. Plus, he gave us enough time to do the problems on the quiz if we didn't do it in the homework. But because the quizzes in my second teacher's class were just straight from the homework and only had 5 to 10 minutes to each quiz, the only way to get a good score on the quizzes was to do the homework. He let us correct it to get points back, but usually, if I didn't get it the first time, I'm not going to do better if you just make me do it again. Sixth period was French, and my opinion of it changed through the year. At the beginning, I was like, it's a little tough now, but I'll get the hang of it. And then, oh, I got the hang of it. But then I didn't, but then I kind of did, but then I didn't again. Right now, I get a lot of it, but I'm really slow. As of writing the script, I'm actually 2 periods before French, so who knows? It may change in 1 class period. Present day me again. No, it didn't really change. I know quite a bit. Actually, no, you know what? I've probably already forgotten it. And finally, English. Man, what can I say about English? I guess you could say it's a pretty normal English class. Easy, then hard, then easy, then hard again, but not as hard as the last time. I think my English teacher was actually pretty cool. She would probably be a fun person to be friends with, but as an English teacher who also had to corral people who couldn't just be respectful, you didn't really get to see that side of her. I realized that happened with a lot of my English teachers. Why do they have it so hard? Before I finish the video off, let's talk about some things from last time. I went to more First Fridays, but I'll talk about those in a bit. No football games though, because I was living so far away and all.
Smell I cup.
We finished the 1-year special, but Will doesn't watch it anymore. I still watch it from time to time because there are parts I really like about it. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
See these nuts? Oh! One child!
It's a little dry. You might need some salt.
What do you mean dry? It's water.
Pretty dry.
Watch this. No! So I just wanted to spill I cup.
Also, I was almost right in saying maybe 2-year special, which kind of says something, I guess. I don't know. I made a lot of videos since the last year in review, and dang, are they pretty nice quality. I've made 10, but that's not counting my memes, dog. I made 15 on my other channel. That's a total of 25 videos. Pardon my French, but holy shit. I've come a long way. It's kind of unfortunate, though. My most viewed video on this channel is the Demise of Chang Jr. trailer, which isn't even more than my trash videos. My most viewed is one on my trash channel called Thick Mint. It's good, but my goodness, I got over 6,000 views. I didn't spend that long on it, but because it's short and stupid, it blew up as much as it did. Oh well, it just goes to show what people like nowadays for entertainment. I continue to use Twitter, and dang, it's fun. None of my family members are on there, and it's not even my real name, so I can be myself. Even if it is only to 14 people, which is actually more than double from last year. Wink, wink. Also, at the beginning of the year, I made a Reddit account, which was a great decision. I even made a video about it. It was for class, but I certainly think it points out my love for Reddit. I didn't make a Reddit account for a long time because I thought it was too confusing. But trust me, it only looks complicated until you get used to it. It's actually very simple. Also, the only reason I knew I made a Reddit account was I recently got a badge for my Reddit birthday, so I guess that was the end of last year, but after the year in review, so whatever. I'm still on that meme scene, but I've recently moved on to other formats like deep fried memes and cursed imagery. I actually made a specific folder in pictures for memes that I make or find. I didn't think I made as much as I did last year, but looking in this folder, I guess I did. That may slow down soon though. I just haven't found the motivation lately. Donald Trump is still president, and he's actually done pretty close to exactly what we thought he would do. That's not a positive or negative statement. Just do with that as you will. My software skills have gotten way better, just because I've been using them. I'm actually using Photoshop now, which is great. I've made these things so far. Just letting them roll through. Seen them yet? Okay, good. Before, I just used Paint.net, which I believe I've used to its maximum capacity. And again, I learned quite a few skills for making memes. Update on the subs, by the way. Apparently I've gained like 15 subscribers since last year. That again might not sound like much, but I'm still amazed that more than 40 people thought, hey, see what this kid's got. It's really special. Now, let's finish this thing off. So, as you've heard, my classes were kind of all over the place, but I was very comfortable. Now that I've gotten used to school and people in freshman year, all it is now is hanging out with people, getting stuff done till the end. I figured out why high school sucks. Because it's the filter. It's the transition between child and adult. The reason it's frustrating is because you may get through the filter before others do. Or maybe you don't. Like for instance, I'm frustrated that I've gotten to at least behavioral maturity, whereas others can't. And I still have to be in classes with them. Or say bullying. I don't get bullied, but I may hear about it, and all I think, it takes too much work to be a dick. Sorry for my French again. But also, maybe people have gotten ahead of you in, say, driving or jobs. I know I need to get my license and get a job, but I don't want to overwhelm myself. People keep saying, when are you going to get a job? And it doesn't come from family members. It comes from others who have already gotten it. High school is a frustrating time of finding yourself. I feel like I've found myself. All I need to do now is go about pursuing it. Because in the end, we're all in it together. Which brings me to my last memory. First Fridays were the days I cherished. I actually went to 2 different First Fridays before freshman year ended last year. And those 2 Fridays completely changed my opinion of First Friday. I probably have my strongest memories from the last decade from those 2 evenings. I finally learned what I wanted in life from those days. All I want is to have a job where I can be me and a place to hang out with friends. Of course, there are other fun ideas I have, but when it comes down to it, memories of good times is what I want. I know I have an opportunity to pursue that, and I won't let it pass by. Because it's better to bring up a great memory with those who share it than those who wouldn't understand. This has been my year in review, Sophomore.